This was exciting because of the crazy knockout, but I felt like this was going to be on its way to another Jairzinho Rozenstruik 5-round decision type of fight, man, if he didn't get that KO. Now, one thing that he did say is that Augusto Sakai does not like to, fight off of his back foot. And he capitalized on it, man. What was beautiful about it is that Rozenstruik, he was going first. And he was stepping up forward instead of being reactionary. You know what I mean? I already said his best money shot is his back step left hook. And instead he said, no, I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to go forward. And I really like to see that. Do you think that Biggie Boy is back? You know what I mean? Or do you think that this was just like one good win? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's hard to fight like that, man. You know what I mean? It's hard to get wins like that consistently when you have such a little output. You know what I mean? What was your take on the fight while it lasted?
Well, first, is Biggie Boy back? I wouldn't say yes, firm, solid. I'd say this is a great first step for sure. My take overall on the whole fight, I think, Augusto Sakai just looked off to me. That was one of the biggest things. He came out a little lackadaisical, didn't really look like he wanted to be there. He kind of looked bored, and it played out in the fight. He didn't really go pressure as much as I thought he was going to. Stayed a little back, which led Jairzinho Rozenstruik to actually implement what you said. Rozenstruik still came out, plodded around a little bit, but his hands were busy. He was starting to go first, started to make, capitalize on the lack of output of Sakai. And, that's what happens when Rozenstruik lets his hands go. We saw him stiff him in the picture before. We saw him stiff him with the jab, come with the overhand right. And, man, it was the beginning of the end once he went down to the ground. So it was a good fight. I was, like I said, I wanted to see a little bit more out of Sakai. I wanted to see him come in with that fire, but he just looked a little maybe lost. I'm not really sure. It wasn't his night. That's all that can always happen. But Rozenstruik, at the end of the day, he still plodded around a little bit. His feet weren't as active, and I think that just comes from the kickboxing. He's ready to throw them, fire off a kick whenever. But his hands look nice. His hands look very nice. I don't know if he'll be able to do that necessarily against like a Francis Ngannou, or a Stipe Miocic, or maybe even a Derek Lewis. We'll see. We'll see how Derek Lewis fights. That one's a little more interesting to me. But at the end of the day, that's what happens when Rozenstruik lets his hands go, bro.
My personal take, I felt like Sakai felt like, they were saying it on the broadcast. They're saying sometimes when you're in there, like it's easier said than done, right? When you're in there, it's a completely different story. And he was all like, sometimes you're in there and you feel these dudes' punches, just the air whiz past your head. And, you like in that, I felt like Sakai, he understood this dude's power is next level, man. Like, I do not want to get caught. And listen, man, this dude hit him with it looked like light. It looked like it was an early stoppage at first to me until you watch the replay back and you're like, oh no, this dude got stiffed. You know what I mean? Like, Ben Rothwell said it himself. He was like, that was an early stoppage. This is another gift for Rozenstruik. You know what I mean? And it's like, nah, man, this dude's power is truly incredible. And the speed, man. That's what I like the most about Rozenstruik is what I saw in this fight. This dude's fast, man. I told you, he's got that underrated foot speed where he can just close the distance really, really quickly. However, I don't like that he overextends himself like that because, you fight Ngannou, right? What happens, man? This dude just walks forward and just puts a pinky on you and puts you to sleep, right? Derek Lewis, man, I don't know. Like, when it comes down to power, I think that we got to think about these top three people. We got to think about Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I think that it has been time tested. These dudes have unreal power, but some people have a better grasp on their output. And Rozenstruik, I just don't know if he's there yet, man. At the end of the day, this was a very, very big win for him. He needed this win, but he's still kind of in that heavyweight limbo, man. This is a tough setback for Augusto Sakai. This is 2 losses in a row. This is a dude who's very underrated, very technical, and I'll tell you, man, he ruined my parlay. I had a 6-fight parlay going on, man. I hit on 5 of them until Sakai got knocked out, man. So lost to me. Neville didn't really lose. I put, what's great, AJ, I'll just kind of put this out there. Folks, you could throw $5 on like a 5-6-fight parlay, and you could win a substantial amount of money, man. So luckily, I didn't have to put in too much, but at the end of the day, Sakai, I needed that win. No, I'm joking. We're doing it unbiased here. We're not sitting here about, what we personally want to see. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, big win for Biggie Boy, man. Big, big win. So